Rose Marquez from San Diego, California asks, can I do my own loan modification or do I have to hire someone to do it for me? Rose, that's entirely dependent upon your abilities, your time, and how much effort you want to put into it yourself. A loan modification there's no statutes or regulatory bodies that require that it be done by someone with a license or anything like that. So depending on your abilities and available time, there's nothing stopping anyone from doing their own loan modification. With that said, I just want to run through a general overview of what exactly it's going to take to do your own loan modification, because a lot of people jump into this unaware of just how much work it really is, and subsequently either don't get a loan modification or end up going with a loan modification company halfway through the process. And a lot of times that can complicate the situation because of previous correspondence with the homeowner, and now a loan modification company is trying to make headway, and the homeowner has already disclosed certain facts or said certain things that might make a loan modification impossible. So, with that said, a couple of things that you should take into account are, if you're going to do your own loan modification, you should know your lender's policies. You should make an accurate financial statement. You should stay calm always. You should document absolutely everything. You should follow up regularly. I would even say maybe follow up compulsively. You should be able to negotiate fiercely, and you should recognize unfair deals. As far as knowing your lender's policies is concerned, you're going to have to make sure to study your lender's guidelines and workout package. And make sure that your submission is flawless, and make sure that you abide by any time restrictions or any other restrictions imposed by the bank. You want to make sure you have a clear idea of the outcome that you're looking for, so that you don't go down any roads that aren't leading you in the direction of your goal. As far as making an accurate financial statement, you're going to want to make sure you can afford a loan modification, first of all, before you go through all the trouble. If you're not making enough money to pay a modified payment, chances are good that there might not be anything that the bank is able to do for you. So you want to make sure that you can afford a modified loan modification. Also, make sure that your present financial documentation is given to the bank in a manner that presents it correctly, so that it doesn't look like if you're self-employed, for instance. There's several ways to present your financial information to make it look like you make either too much or too little money, even if you're doing it inadvertently. Also, you want to make sure that you can prove your financial story. If you're self-employed or something, you want to be able to be sure that you can provide the lender with W-2s and bank statements and that kind of thing to prove your financial ability to pay a mortgage if they modified it. Staying calm is really important, and a lot of times this is where most people trying to do their own loan modifications get hung up. And the reason is because it's their home on the line, and it's very hard to stay calm when someone's telling you no. And rest assured that you'll be told no several times. You cannot let your emotions come into play. They deteriorate your ability to negotiate and think straight and get anything productive done. So you really need to stay calm. You can't get angry at the person on the phone, even though you just really, really might want to. The bottom line is they're not directly responsible for your loan modification. They are just a $12 an hour phone call center employee probably, and chances are good that they don't really know why you're being either denied or held up or whatever. It's just what their computer screen's telling them. You want to make sure to document everything when you're going through the process. And the reason is a lot of times there are documents that are not filled out correctly. There's word agreements, and those don't translate into written agreements correctly. So you want to make sure that you don't do any word-based agreements. You want to make sure everything is in writing. You don't agree over the phone to specific terms. You require that they're written and sent to you, and then that way you can review them or have a competent attorney or CPA review them. You want to write down everyone that you talk to, keep track of the phone numbers if you can get them. Most of the times the call center employees won't give you a direct line back to them. But if you can, you want to build relationships with those people so that they can help you out with your process. Another thing that you're going to want to do is follow up regularly. And by regularly, I mean often. And get used to getting blown off. Get used to being told the same thing over and over again. Your loan is currently under negotiation or under review or that kind of thing. Loan modifications do not move fast, so get used to being told the same thing over and over again. And get used to waiting. But whatever you do, do not stop calling, because if you stop calling, your loan just gets kind of put to the side and doesn't get pushed. The squeaky wheel really does get the grease. So be sure to do that. Another skill you're going to need to have is the ability to negotiate fiercely. You can't take the first offer unless it's great. Most of the time it won't be great. Sometimes it will. But most of the time they're going to give you an offer that they think will appease you and make you go away. And for your best interests, you need to negotiate with them and not take that first offer. You need to be smart about your negotiations and don't get lost in the details. There's several ways to get lost in the details. There's several ways to not realize that your interest rate got dropped by 1%, but your loan got extended by 10 years. Or your principal balance didn't get moved at all and your loan got extended and your interest rate is lowered just a little bit. Or there's like 16 different dynamics to a mortgage, and you need to be able to be smart about your negotiations and realize where the money is going, where the money's coming off, and how you're saving your monthly payment. You need to review all of the offers in writing and make sure that they're the same as the agreement made. So if you're talking to somebody over the phone and there is an agreement reached and they send you out a written agreement, you need to make sure that the terms on the written agreement match the terms that you talk to somebody on the phone over, because oftentimes they won't. Another skill you're going to need to have, or at least be able to reference, is the ability to recognize unfair deals. You need to read over your agreements carefully and make sure everything's on the up and up. And then you need to seek a second pair of eyes, preferably a CPA or an attorney, to make sure that there's no strange tax implications or anything like that. A lot of the times there are 1099 implications on do-it-yourself loan modifications, and even sometimes on professionally done loan modifications. There are 1099 implications, and you need to be aware of those so that you don't end up at the end of the year wondering why you owe a bunch of money in taxes. Other things to consider are the fact that doing it yourself does not mean that this loan modification will be free. You will still pay, because oftentimes there's a lender fee and associated costs for paperwork, faxing, those kind of things, postage. Generally, these are absorbed by the loan modification company's fee. So if they charge you $3,000, they're paying the lender fee for you, they're paying the postage, they're paying the faxing and all that other stuff. They're probably paying an attorney for document preparation. All of these things are coming out of that $3,000 they paid you. So don't think that if you do it yourself, you're going to just do it for free, because that's not going to happen. Secondly, you might want to consider using pre-written form letters and correspondence. There are certain kits out on the market that are available with like pre-packaged legal forms, that kind of things. And you may want to consider using those or going to an attorney and having them write you some for yourself. And then you also have to consider, is doing it yourself your best option? Are you going to be able to negotiate the best deal without getting your emotions involved, and on top of that, go to work every day and be able to have the time and energy to see this through to the end? Because if you don't have that kind of endurance, sometimes paying a professional is the best choice. But anyways, I hope that I answered your questions. If you'd like, I'm offering 20 free videos teaching you pretty much everything you need to know about home loan modifications. If you're interested, check out easyhomeloanmod.com/20 free videos, and that's 20-free-videos. And just head over to Easy Home Loan Mod. I'll hook you up with these videos and hopefully teach you everything you need to know before you get involved with loan modification. So anyways, I hope that helped. Thanks.